Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Lauren and I am about to guide you through a Vinyasa flow sequence where we're going to focus on forward bending. But before I get into forward bending, just a moment. Something that I'm doing different this video is I'm wearing a microphone. So give me some feedback. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Does it make a difference to you? In testing it out, I think when I'm laying on my stomach, the sound gets a little murky, but we won't be doing that for very long. So let me know your thoughts. I need some fans on and the AC on right now, so I had to figure out how to allow you guys to still hear me while I am being blasted with cool air. And so this is what I'm trying. So let me know what you think. Okay. But today's sequence, so we're going to focus on a Vinyasa flow sequence. So a little bit more work, a little bit more effort. We're going to be sweating. We're going to feel challenged. And forward folding, forward bending. We do it all the time in every yoga class. Think cat pose, forward fold, of course, is a forward fold. We do a lot of these this action in our body in a traditional yoga class anyways, but we're going to focus on opening not just the back of the spine, but forward folding, opening the back of the entire body. So a lot of hamstrings, some glute stuff, and then opening the back of the spine. So like always, everything should be comfortable. Nothing should be sharpshooting or painful. Listen to your body. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start on our backs. And for this practice, you do need one block. So make sure you've got a block. You don't need it yet. Make sure it's going to be close by, within arm's reach when you come down onto your back. And then just set yourself up on your back. Come on down onto your back. Start with your body just in a comfortable position. You can have your legs extended. You can have your knees bent. You can have your arms out alongside your body, hands on your belly, whatever works. But settle in and allow yourself to get comfortable. Allow yourself to rest, to relax, to soften into this position. And feel the heaviness in the back side of your body as you release it down into the ground. Allow the back side of your body to melt into the ground beneath you. Sending a signal to your entire body to relax. Softening muscles, joints, tissues. Let it all soften. And draw your attention to your breath. For a few moments, just notice your breath. Notice a smooth, seamless, easy breath. Notice how one breath flows right into the next, very effortlessly. Continue that smooth, fluid breath, but can you deepen the breath? Can you make each breath a little longer, a little fuller, a little deeper? Expand your breath, broaden your breath, deepen your breath. And take 3 more expansive breaths just like this. And then return back to your natural breath. If it feels right for you, you're welcome to take the next few moments to set an intention for your practice. Reflecting on a positive word or phrase, giving yourself some time to allow it to settle in your heart. And then start to deepen your breath again. This time, imagine that these breaths aren't just contained to your torso. These breaths fill your body, and so your whole body starts to move. And you can rock your head. You can wiggle your fingers and toes. Move the arms and legs and start to wake everything up. Even though it was just a few moments in stillness, we want to gradually come back to movement after that stillness. So just moving slowly and softly, but bringing movement through the whole body. So maybe take a full body stretch or hug your knees into your chest. But just another breath wherever it feels good to be. Okay, we're going to stay on our backs, but we'll start with the knees bent, feet flat. So starting with your knees bent, feet flat, feet and knees about hip distance apart. Arms can just rest alongside the body. We're going to start with our pelvic tilt. So keep your seat on the ground. Keep your shoulders on the ground. Relax your arms. Inhale, arch your back. Lift your lower back and your ribs like you're pointing your belly button toward your thighs. And then exhale, push down into the ground. Push the lower back, push the ribs down, point your belly button towards your face. Move with your breath. Inhale, arch the spine, point the belly button towards the thighs. Exhale, push the ribs down into the ground, tuck the tailbone, belly button to the face. Keep moving just like this. Now again, you're keeping your seat on the ground, so it's not a bridge. You're not lifting your hips. Your seat stays down. You're just tilting your pelvis forward, tilting it back. Shoulders stay on the ground, arms relaxed, and even legs relax. The feet are not pushing into the ground. Again, it's not a bridge, so feet can just rest on the ground. We'll do this just a couple more times here. These pelvic tilts, tilt forward, tilt back. Create that movement in your lowest sections of your spine, which is a spot that gets stuck in a lot of us. So let's do just one more of each. Okay, and then return back to neutral, return back to the center. All right, and grab onto your block. You might have two. Grab onto just one, you only need one. You're going to place your block between your inner thighs at its skinniest, thinnest width. So when you're looking at the block, you're looking at one of the skinniest sides of it. Okay, so it's between your thighs, and it's just a placeholder for right now, so you don't have to do anything with it. It's just making sure that the knees and hips stay about hip distance. I'm sorry, the hips are always hip distance. The knees and the thighs continue to stay hip distance. All right, relax the arms. Let the arms rest alongside the body, palms down. We're going to do a pelvic tilt, but we're going to add on to it. So inhale as you arch the spine. Lift your lower back, point your belly button towards your thighs, belly button towards the block. Exhale, push down into the ground, tuck the tailbone, now keep it there. Keep pushing the lower back down, keep pushing the ribs down, feel your core turn on. Okay, now keep relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the arms. Push the lower back down, push the ribs down. And now squeeze into the block like you're trying to flatten it. Now as you're squeezing into the block, keep pushing the lower back down, keep pushing the ribs down. Tuck your tailbone, point your belly button towards your face. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms, let the back of your head feel heavy in the ground, but squeeze into the block. tuck the tailbone, belly button to the face, push the ribs down, stay for a moment, take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale, slowly release. Keep the block where it is, but you can soften the inner thighs, soften through your pelvis, through your core, maybe move a little bit. And actually, let me expand on something I said really quickly. I said take a deep breath. That's sort of out of habit because I always encourage you to take deep breaths. But when you're doing core work, you're not going to take a deep breath. And I usually don't cue this in group classes. It's a little more complicated, but you know what I'm talking about and you can understand this. So when you're taking a deep breath down into your belly, you're relaxing those muscles. Those muscles have to relax in order to take a belly breath, which is one reason why belly breathing is relaxing. So if your core is contracted and tight and squeezing, you can't take a belly breath. Those two are sort of, they contradict each other. And so when you're doing core work like this, because we're going to keep going, we're not done, you're going to breathe into your chest. Same thing like a plank, same thing, boat pose, whatever. Anytime you're doing core work, you're not going to be able to breathe into your belly, and that's okay. You still need to breathe, but it's not going to be a belly breath. Okay, so you're just going to breathe into your chest, and that's all right. Okay, so I might, out of habit, take a deep breath, but not really. I just want you to breathe. Okay, so make sure that that block is still there. Relax your arms alongside the body. We're going to do one pelvic tilt. So inhale, arch the back, point the belly button towards the block. Exhale, push down into the ground, tuck your tailbone, hold it there. Belly button towards the face, ribs pushing down, feel your core turn on. You're breathing just into your chest. Okay, now squeeze into the block like you're trying to flatten the block. Squeeze, push, squeeze and engage. Keep pushing the lower back down. Keep pushing the ribs down. Now, inhale, lift head, neck, shoulders, arms, hands up off the ground. Let the arms just hover and float up off the ground, sort of like a Pilates position. Reach the arms forward, but shoulders down and back. Lift the shoulder blades away from the ground, but relax the shoulders away from the ears. Now tuck your tailbone, belly button to the face. Push the lower back down, push the ribs down, squeeze into the block. This is a forward fold. Rounding through the upper body, chin to the chest, belly button to the face, squeeze the inner thighs, use the front side, stay for a breath. Breathing just into the chest, relax the shoulders, inhale. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. You can release the block, set it off to the side, take a few moments, move however feels good. So we're going to take a bunch of different forward folds, and forward folds will feel different depending on your relation to gravity. And that's true for every pose. If you're changing your relation to gravity, it's going to feel different because gravity is affecting your body differently, right? So when we're forward folding, on our back, we're basically in a crunch position. You'll see in a few moments, it's not going to be nearly that much work when we, again, just flip our position. All right, wherever you're at, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Maybe you hug the knees in by placing the hands on the shins or the backs of the thighs. Maybe you bring the hands on the tops of your knees, on your kneecaps, and trace circles with your knees like you're stirring a pot. Make sure to go in both directions. But just one more breath. All right, and then let's come up to a comfortable seat. So you can rock through to the center or roll to the side, but get there comfortably and come on up. All right. So take a comfortable seated position. Allow the legs to relax. Sit up tall. Reach the crown of the head up. Soften the shoulders. We're going to move our spine like we usually do. Inhale, draw the belly forward. Lift the chest, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, ribs back, chin to the chest, look down. Move with your breath. Inhale into the back bend. Exhale into the forward bend. Inhale, expanding through the front side, lifting the chest, lifting the heart, looking up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, ribs back, expand through the backside. Let's do just a few more of each, letting the shoulders relax away from the ears. Let the hips and legs relax. Focus on your spine. Notice that you're in the same shape as before, right? But not nearly as much work. All right, let's do just one more of each. Okay, and then return back to the center. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Sweep left fingertips over, reaching, sweeping over, stretching through the left side. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, switch sides. Left hand down, right fingertips reach. Feel the stretch in the right side. Move with your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take the side stretch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take that side stretch. And like always, keep the shoulders relaxed. Both shoulders. We often think about relaxing the shoulder that's reaching, which is good. That's definitely a good place to start. But can you relax both shoulders away from both ears? Even the hand that's touching the ground, it's really just there for balance, for a little bit of support. So you don't have to push into the ground. That shoulder doesn't need to shrug. It's not very much effort there. Okay, we'll finish it up here just on this side, and then we'll return back to the center. Inhale, lengthen up, sit up tall. Exhale, drop the arms, take a twist over to the right. Inhale, lengthen up, crown of the head up, shoulders still relaxed. Exhale, drop the arms, take a twist to the left. Moving with your breath, just at your own pace. Rotating at your waist. Again, softening through shoulders and arms. Relaxing through hips and legs. Rotate your spine. Twist in the torso. One more each side. And then inhale one more time. Lengthen up. Sit up tall. Exhale. Let the arms come all the way down. All right. Let's set up in tabletop. So you can swing their legs around. Come on into tabletop. We're not going to be here very long. I just want us to do just a few cat and cows. So we've done this shape, right, on our back, sitting, and now we're going to do it facing the ground, and it's going to feel different. You know what it's going to feel like probably, but it's where we have the ability to do the largest range of motion. So it is, I would say, maybe the most effective in preparing our spine. It's always good to do just a few of these. So from tabletop, inhale, drop the belly, point your belly button towards your thighs, lift your chest, lift your heart, look forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, belly button towards your face, chin to the chest, look towards your belly. Inhale, drop the belly, belly button towards the thighs, ribs towards the mat, heart forward, look forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, ribs to the sky, chin to the chest. Just a few more like this. Move the whole length of the spine. This is where you can create larger movements, so maybe you take advantage of that. And thinking about larger movements, as we start to move in just a moment through the sun salutations, really notice how your back is feeling, especially for those cobras. When we start to take the back bends, make sure that your spine feels okay going from the forward bends to the back bends. Cobra's not very deep, and the forward bends we're going to take are not very deep, but it still doesn't hurt to just listen, right? Just taking the moment to check in, making sure that you know you can always adjust, modify, make anything more or less intense. All right, come back to tabletop. Come back to tabletop a little bit closer to the top of your mat as opposed to the center. Spread your fingers as wide as they'll go. Push the hands down, lift the chest, lengthen your legs back, come into a plank position. Now, whether you're on your knees or your toes, doesn't matter to me, but either way, what tends to happen here is people start to point their belly button towards their thighs. They reach their seat up towards the sky. If you can see me, I'm doing it here. This is not a good alignment. It's going to hurt your back and not engage your core. So can you tuck your tailbone? Can you point your belly button a little bit more towards your face? Lengthen your lower back. Protect your lower back. Work your core. You've got it for one more deep breath. Stay strong. Stay with it. Inhale.
Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now take a few moments. You can pedal out the heels. You can sway your hips, shake your head. What I like to often do here is I deeply bend my knees and I do a pelvic tilt here. Belly button towards the thighs, belly button towards the face. And I do that back and forth a few times. Just notice what that feels like. Again, taking that same movement, changing your relation to gravity or doing it in different poses is going to make it feel different. But wherever you want to be, one more breath. And then settle into a static downward facing dog. We're going to do plank one more time. Spread the fingers. Inhale, shift forward, plank pose like the top part of a push-up, but we're staying still. Spread the fingers. Push fingertips into the mat. Base of the pointer finger, webbing between your pointer finger and thumb. Claw the mat. Push the hands down. Lift up and out of the armpits. And then tuck the tailbone just a little bit. Lengthen the lower back. Belly button to the face. One more breath. Strong in plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just a breath or two here. And then deeply bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel forward. Take baby steps. Walking your feet forward into forward fold, Uttanasana, rounding through the upper body. Now again, we've got a few moments here. Maybe you pedal out your heels. Maybe you grab onto opposite elbows and sway. Whatever feels good. Shake the head yes, shake the head no, but stay for about 2 or 3 more breaths. Okay, and then let's come back to a traditional forward fold. Knees softly bent, just letting the upper body hang. Inhale, lift up halfway, reach the crown of your head forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Push the heels down, inhale, rise all the way up, circle the arms, maybe at a bit of a back bend by looking up. Bring your hands to your heart, take a deep breath. Ground through the heels. Push the heels down into the ground. Stand up tall. Relax the shoulders down and back, away from the ears. Don't push them, just let them fall. Place your hands wherever you'd like. And take a deep breath here in mountain pose, Tadasana. And we'll move through some sun salutations. So inhale, circle the arms out and around, fingertips reach to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Push the heels down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Circle the arms. Maybe even look up. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, rounding through the upper body. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Push the heels down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Circle the arms. Lift the chest. One more. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Push the heels down. Inhale, rise. And now we're going to keep going. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step the right foot back, all the way back, runner's lunge, pausing for just a moment. Hands under the shoulders, push the hands down, lift the chest. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plant the hands, step the left foot back, take your time. Reach the hips up towards the sky, but spread the fingers, ground the hands. Inhale, shift forward, plank pose like the top part of a push-up. Now again, protect your lower back, point your belly button a little bit more towards your face. Stay strong in the front side. You're breathing, probably just into the chest, but that's all right. Your breath is still smooth, seamless, fluid. One more breath. just like that. Staying in control. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, slowly lower. Coming all the way down onto your belly. Bring the tops of the feet down onto the ground. Inhale, rise up any amount. Keep the shoulders down and back. Exhale, lower the chest. Inhale, hook the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pick up the right foot. Reach the right heel up and back. Inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee, draw it in towards your belly. Quietly place the right foot in between your hands, taking as many steps as you need to get it there. Runner's lunge, hands down, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Circle the arms. Maybe lift the chest. Take a back bend. We're going to do that again. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step the left foot back, all the way back. Runner's lunge, pushing firmly down into the ground, keeping the spine long and in neutral. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your time. Set yourself up. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Check in with your hands. Inhale, shift forward. Plank pose. Shoulders over elbows. Elbows over wrists. The creases of your elbows face forward. Same direction as your middle finger. And those reach forward, but the heels lengthen back. Crown of the head forward. Lengthen your body like you're standing up tall in Tadasana. One more breath. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, slowly lower. Elbows in tight, lower with control. Tops of the feet down. Inhale, rise up. Take your back bend. Exhale, lower the chest. Inhale, hook the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pick up the left foot. Reach the left heel up and back. Inhale. Exhale, draw the left knee in towards your belly. Quietly place the left hand down onto the ground. Pushing or pulling is fine. We've just got to get it all the way forward and then push the hands down. Reach the crown of the head forward. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, circle the arms. Now we're going to do a few more sun salutations, just a little different. Sun A's. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step to plank. So make your way into a plank position. It could be a modified plank on your knees or on your toes. But engage the front side. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, slowly lower. Elbows in tight. Inhale, take your back bend. Exhale, lower the chest. Inhale, hook the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we stay here for a few breaths. So settle in. Notice how you're feeling. Can you relax some spaces, maybe the muscles of your face? But stay strong through the arms and hands. Soften the breath, but stay strong in the legs. One more breath. Now deeply bend your knees. Inhale, look forward by your thumbs. Exhale, travel forward. Walk, step, or jump. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Push the heels down, circle the arms, lift the chest. We're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plank pose. Step with the opposite foot this time. And coming into plank, reach the heels back, crown of the head forward, creases of the elbows forward. Lengthen the body, strengthen the body. 1 more breath, breathing into your chest, a short, shallow breath. That's all right. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, slowly lower. Point the elbows back. Lower all the way down. Inhale, take your back bend. Exhale, lower the chest. Inhale, hook the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. A few breaths here. Check in with what's happening for you. Notice how you're feeling. Notice how you're breathing. Check in. One more breath. Deeply bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel forward. Walk, step, or jump. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Push the heels down. Inhale, rise up, circle the arms, lift the chest. Maybe look up. We're going to do 1 more. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plank pose, maybe using the opposite foot. Plank pose. Now, this might be your last plank. You're going to have options for more, but maybe this is your last one. Check in. Stay strong. Keep breathing. Smooth, fluid breaths. Staying engaged in the front side. Notice how strong, how powerful you are to stay with it, even if you're tired, even if this is challenging. 1 more breath. You can stay with it. And inhale, shift forward. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hook the toes. Exhale, down dog. A few breaths here for you to check in. One more breath. Deeply bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel forward. Walk, step, or jump. Forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Push the heels down. Inhale, rise up. Circle the arms. Now we're going to come into standing poses. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step the right foot back, and we're taking a shorter stance. So you're going to hop your right foot forward just a little bit, pivot the right foot, ground the heel, right toes point towards the top right corner of your mat. Deeply bend the left knee, bring your hands to the top of the left thigh to lift the torso. Once you feel stable and steady, fix my microphone, and then we'll bring the arms up, let the shoulders relax. Warrior 1. Virabhadrasana 1. Now deeply bend the left knee, but ground the right heel down and back. Now Warrior 1 can be a back bend. Notice if you're tempted to push your ribs forward, that's not what we're going for here. So can you draw your ribs in? Can you create a little bit of a wrinkle in the front of your shirt by your belly button? You might feel a little opening in the hip flexor when you do that. I certainly do. And then again, arms reach up, but let the shoulders relax. Just 2 more breaths. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. All right, now slowly bring the hands to the hips. Push firmly through the left heel to straighten the left leg. Now really square your hips forward. Think about your belly button pointing directly forward towards the top of your mat, not towards the top right corner of your mat, towards the top of your mat, the center. Same directions your left toes are pointing. Okay, with the hands at the hips and the hips squared, inhale, reach the crown of the head up. Exhale as you start to fold forward, keeping your left leg straight. Now at some point, you're going to feel a deep stretch in the back of your left leg, and that's where you're going to probably stay. So you can keep reaching the crown of your head forward and keep your back flat, looking down at your left toes. Or maybe you add that forward fold. Here's your opportunity to start taking some deeper forward bends. So you might round through the upper body, drop the chin to the chest, drop your head so you're looking back towards your right toes. Your hands might come onto blocks, the mat, your shin, but this is pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Keep squaring the hips towards the top edge of your mat and stay for 2 more breaths. Okay, now deeply bend the left knee. One more time, bring your hands to the top of the left thigh to help lift the torso, but we're going to keep the arms low. Okay, now we're going to bring the hands behind us. Well, in fairness, you've got a few options. You can bring your hands to your hips, but most people like to bring their hands behind them and interlace the fingers and reach the knuckles back. You might also grab opposite elbows. It's up to you. But we're going to fold forward again, but this time we're going to keep the front knee bent. So instead of feeling a deep stretch in the back of the thigh, the front of the thigh is going to work. Okay, so if you've got your fingers interlaced, really reach your knuckles down and back, lift the chest, inhale. Exhale as you start to fold forward. Your torso might meet your left thigh, maybe not. And you might reach the crown of your head forward and again look down at your left toes. You might round through the upper body, chin to the chest, drop the head, look back at the right toes. If that's the case, really reach your knuckles up to the sky. Humble warrior, 2 more breaths. Keep your torso as it is, but slowly release the hands, release the arms. Reach the fingertips forward and inhale, slowly rise all the way up. Warrior 1. Fingertips reaching up towards the sky. Let the shoulders relax. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step the left foot back, all the way back. And then hop it forward, 1 little hop, pivot the foot, ground the heel, left toes pointing to the front left corner of your mat. Deeply bend the right knee. Bring your hands to the top of the right thigh to help lift your torso. Find some stability. And then once you're ready, let the arms float up. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. Keep deeply bending the right knee. Now, anytime the front knee is bent here, you're going to feel the top of the thigh working. It's different when we straighten the leg. Okay. Keep pushing the heels down, crown of the head up. 1 more breath. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Okay. Now we're going to bring the hands to the hips. Push through the right heel to straighten the right leg. Now that the leg is straight, it's less about working the front of the leg. It's more about stretching the back. Okay. But square the hips. Point your belly button forward, the same direction your right toes are pointing. Not forward and to the left. Forward. Reach the crown of the head up. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward, keeping your back flat as you do so. So hinging at the hips, and at some point, the back of your right thigh is gonna chime in. And then maybe you just stay there. Maybe you start to bring your hands down there, or maybe you round through the upper body, chin to the chest, drop the head, look back towards your left foot, left toes. Hands can come down onto blocks, mat, shin, pyramid pose. 2 more deep breaths. Now slowly bend the right knee. Push firmly into the heels. Bring the hands to the top of the right thigh. Lift the torso. Now we're going to fold forward again, but we're going to keep the right knee deeply bent. So again, working the front of the leg. You can keep the hands at the hips. You can interlace the fingers. If you do so, change the cross of your fingers. Slide your fingers over one. And then reach the knuckles down and back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe the torso meets the thigh, maybe not. Maybe you reach the crown of your head forward and you look down at your right toes. Maybe you drop the torso, look back at your left toes. And if that's the case, reach your knuckles to the sky. But settle into some version of humble warrior, working through the front leg. 2 more breaths, humble warrior. Okay, and then slowly release the hands. Let the arms release down and then forward and then eventually push down. Inhale, rise all the way back up to a warrior one. Relax the shoulders. Just one breath here. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Take just a breath or two here. All right. And then from forward fold, inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Pause there. Now keep reaching the crown of your head forward and walk your feet away from each other so they're more like mat distance. Turn the toes out away from each other. Your feet look like the letter V. Inhale. Exhale, Malasana. Take a deep yogic squat. Now you can sit on a block or a stack of blocks. Remember that your blocks have different heights too, so you could, you've got options. All right, and you can just stay here in Malasana. Oftentimes people round here, or you might consciously lift. But that rounding action is what we're sort of going for, so that might feel good for you. Another pose that you can come into here that has that rounding action is an arm balance. Arm balances may or may not be your thing. That's up to you to determine. But you've got the option to come to one here. So Bakasana is sort of the easiest to come into in terms of where we're at. It's not an easy pose, but it's easy to transition into if it's in your practice. So hands down, spread the fingers. Start by reaching your hips up, and looking forward towards the front of your mat. So there's gonna be a bunch of wrinkles in the back of your neck. That's okay. And then bend the knees. Let the knees either come into the armpits or maybe the shins just rest on the triceps, excuse me. But again, you're looking forward. There are going to be wrinkles in the back of your neck. That's okay. But your spine is sort of rounded. You're sort of in a cat pose shape in Bakasana, in crow pose, in this arm balance. So it actually is a forward fold, a forward bend, especially in the spine. We'll stay for just a few more breaths. Try it, don't try it, whatever you got to do. One more breath. And then let's meet in Malasana. From Malasana, push the heels down and just return back to forward fold. Feet hip distance, toes forward. Maybe pedal out the heels. Maybe let the hips sway. Maybe let the torso sway. Shake the head yes and no. All right, one more breath right here in forward fold. Okay, and then inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step the right foot back. We're taking a shorter stance, so again, the foot's not going to be all the way back. Heel is down, right toes point to the front right corner of your mat. Deeply bend the left knee and inhale, slowly rise, warrior one. We're going to do those same poses again. So deeply bend the left knee. Send it forward, but ground the right heel down and back. Fingertips up, relax the shoulders. Instead of taking a back bend, can you draw the ribs in, create a wrinkle in the front of your shirt? Just 2 breaths here. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. And inhale. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Straighten that front leg. Push through the heel. Straighten the leg. Square the hips. Belly button points forward towards the center of the top of your mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Keep the back flat for as long as you can. And then at some point, the back of your left thigh is going to chime in. And then you can stay right there. You can bring the hands down. But again, we're coming into these poses a second time. So maybe you come a little deeper. Maybe you can take the pose a little deeper, or maybe you don't. Do what feels good. 2 more breaths. Pyramid pose, Parvattanasana. All right, deeply bend the left knee. Bring your hands to the top of the left thigh to lift the torso. We're lifting the torso, but we're keeping the arms low. We're taking humble warrior. So again, hands can be at the hips. Fingers can interlace behind you. You might grab opposite elbows. You might bring the palms together, but flip the fingertips so they point up towards your skull in reverse namaskar, like Anjali Mudra, just behind you. Whatever you want to do, we're going to keep the left knee bent. Lift up through the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Now again, you might keep your back flat and look at your left toes. You might take that forward fold. Drop your chin to your chest. Look back. Look at your right toes. Be where it feels good to be. Be where it makes sense to be, where you are being challenged. You are working, but you can stay with it for 2 more breaths. And then keep your torso low. Slowly release your arms. Bring your hands back to your hips. Inhale, slowly rise all the way up. Lift the torso, but we're going to keep the hands at the hips. All right, we're going to add 1 pose here. Warrior 3, a balance pose. We got a balance. So look down at the floor, something that won't move. Keep your eyes locked on that dristi. Start to walk the right foot in. Come up onto the tip of your right big toe, and then slowly let that foot float up. Now here your hips are level, your spine is in neutral. You're in neither a cat nor a cow, nor a forward bend, not a back bend. Lengthen the spine, reach the right heel back. Arms can do what they need to, but lengthen the body, lift the body. 2 more breaths. Warrior 3. Warrior, I said that weird. Deeply bend the left knee, let the right foot touch down. Return back to warrior 1. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. You've got 3 to 5 breaths before we do this final sequence on the second side. So take whatever you need. Just keep breathing. Take 1 more breath wherever you're at. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. From down dog, deeply bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel forward. Walk, step, or jump. Forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step the left foot back. Again, not a long stance, a shorter stance. Pivot the foot, ground the heel, left toes to the top left corner of the mat. Deeply bend the right knee. Inhale, slowly rise. Warrior 1. Fingertips up, shoulders relax. Can you create a wrinkle in the front of your shirt by your belly button? We're not going for a back bend. We really want a neutral spine here. So can you lengthen? Can you lift? But can you ground through the feet? 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Push through the right heel. Straighten the right leg. Square the hips. Square your belly button. Forward to the center of the top edge of your mat. You can place your, we've been keeping hands at the hips. I'm sorry. Keep your hands at your hips and inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hips. At some point, your right thigh is going to feel it. And then you choose what you'd like to do. Hands can come down, maybe to blocks. Maybe you round through your upper body, dropping the chin to the chest, looking towards the back of your mat. But stay in pyramid pose for 2 more breaths. Keep your torso low, deeply bend the right knee. Inhale, rise, lifting the chest, bringing the hands just to the hips. All right, now we're going to keep that front knee bent. Bring the hands in whatever variation you'd like. Hips, interlace, grab opposite elbows, reverse namaskar, but relax your shoulders. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold, humble warrior. You can keep the spine long, you can round, whatever you need to do, but push the heels down. Stay strong in the legs, fluid in the breath. 2 more breaths, just like this. Firmly push the heels down. Inhale, slowly rise all the way back up to warrior 1. Fingertips reach to the sky. Shoulders relax. 1 more breath here. And 1 last pose. Bring the hands to the hips. Find something to look at, something that won't move. Lock your eyes onto a dristi. Walk the back foot in. Come up to the tip of the left big toes and then let them float. Let them lift. Let them reach. Arms can be wherever they need to be. But stay strong in the right leg. Even out your hips. Even out your spine. Lengthen the spine. You're not in a forward bend or a back bend. Neutral here in the spine. 2 more breaths. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Okay, deeply bend the right knee. Let the left foot touch down at the back of the mat. 1 more, warrior 1. Reach the arms up. Soften the shoulders. Create a wrinkle in the front of your shirt. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 to 5 breaths. Take any transition you prefer. Take 1 more breath right where you're at. And we'll all meet in a seated position. So you can make your way to tabletop and then swing your legs around. Eventually settling into a seated position, starting with your legs long in front of you. Okay. We're going to take 1 more forward fold. Now we're going to take a seated forward fold. So again, just changing the relation to gravity. All right, so we're going to start with legs long in front of us. Feet can be either together or about hip distance apart, but push through the heels. Toes lift up towards the sky. Relax your shoulders, but bring your hands down, whether it's the palms or the fingertips, but push down into the ground to lift up. Reach the crown of the head up, the chest up. Inhale. Exhale, start to fold forward. Tilt your belly button so it points towards your thighs. And then you'll start to feel a deeper stretch in the backs of your legs, and then maybe you crawl your fingertips forward. You might place your hands on your shins or grab onto your feet, but try to relax your hands, relax your arms. And just like a lot of these other poses, you can keep the lift of the chest. You can keep lengthening your spine, maybe looking at your toes or at the top of your mat, or maybe you round, drop the chin to the chest. Take a true seated forward fold, rounding through the upper body, taking sort of a cat pose position. This is Paschimottanasana. or seated forward fold. Allow your upper body to relax, your shoulders and arms to soften. Free up any tension through the hands and wrists and forearms. Feel a comfortable stretch in the back side of the body, and let's stay for 3 more breaths. Okay, now keep your torso low, release your hands, slide your hands so they come closer back to the hips. Push the hands down, inhale, rise. We're using the strength of the arms to lift the torso. Bring the torso back upright. You can relax the feet, maybe roll them out. Keep the spine tall and long, relax the shoulders. Maybe even roll the shoulders out. All right, we are going to come down onto our backs. For this, I would say I prefer nothing under your head. I usually like a little bit of support, but nothing under your head here, and you will come back to using your block. So make sure your block is close by, and nothing under your head. I'm sure you know where we're going. We're going to come to a supported bridge, okay, but we're going to do it in a very specific way. So we're going to start with knees bent, feet flat, and we're going to just rest here for several moments, okay? So just let your seat, your hips, your whole torso, your spine, all just relax on the ground. Notice how your torso, your spine, your body all feels here. And take 3 more breaths, just noticing how you feel. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do just a few moving bridges to prep the spine for the supported bridge. So bring your arms alongside your body. And with these moving bridges, the reason we're going to do a few moving bridges first is because I want your spine to get used to the shape. So I want your moving bridges to start very small and subtle and gradually get bigger. We'll do like between 5 and 10 of them, but your first like 3 bridges we're about to do, don't make them very deep. I want them very, very small and subtle. Okay, so relax your shoulders, relax your arms, push your feet down, inhale, tuck your tailbone, belly button towards your face, and slowly lift your hips. They don't have to lift high. Lift the low back, the mid back, squeeze your glutes, and then slowly lower down. Keeping that tuck of the tailbone, keeping your belly button towards your face throughout the entire action. Okay, so we were working on forward folding, forward bending throughout the practice. Bridge pose is a back bend. It is the opposite. It is the exact opposite of the shape we've been in, which is why I want you to start out slow. But this still should be comfortable. Now, the reason we're coming in from one opposite to the next, because what often happens, myself included, is that when students do these forward folding sequences, their hip flexors get really, really tight because they're already tight. And then we sort of shorten them throughout the practice. You can't open the front and the back together, right? If one opens, the other closes. And so when we do all these forward folding, it's great for the hamstrings, great for the low back, great for the glutes, but the hip flexors kind of get mad. So we're going to give them a little bit of time to open up. So do just one more moving bridge, just like this. And then the next time your hips come all the way down, we're going to take a supported bridge. So grab onto your block. And again, we're going to do it a little different than we normally would because the intention is different. We're going to set up in the same way. So push your feet down, lift your hips, slide the block at its lowest height under your sacrum. So sometimes I give you options. You can have it at the lowest height, the medium height, maybe you stack 2 blocks. But again, because this is a little different, we're all going to be on the lowest height of the block. Okay. So if you think about it, you're in a little bit of a back bend here, right? It might be hard for you to feel it, but your belly button wants to be pulled towards your thighs here. You're in a back bend. Okay, but we want to open the hip flexors. So slowly start to crawl your left foot out, lengthening your left leg, crawling the foot away from the block, sliding that left leg so it lengthens. And then inhale. Exhale, hug your right thigh and your right shin in towards your belly. Now you might hug it in tightly, you might hug it in loosely, but we're going to hug the right leg in as the left leg lengthens. And you can reach with the left leg, or maybe you just let it relax. We're starting to cool down, so maybe you just let the left leg relax. That's okay. And we're just going to take a few breaths here, and it might help you to visualize this softness, this elasticity, this relaxation being sent to your left hip flexors. And every once in a while someone asks, where are my hip flexors? I talk about them an awful lot, and every once in a while someone will say, well, where are they? So if you look at your right leg, where you've got this crease, where your thigh and your belly are meeting, but if you were to follow that all the way into the crease, that's your hip flexor. It's often usually sort of where, especially if you wear like bikini cut underwear, like where that line is sort of, right? That divider of your thigh versus your torso. That's your hip flexor. And so the right one is currently getting shortened, but the left one is lengthening. So maybe again, it helps to think about allowing that left hip in the front of the hip flexors, to lengthen. Take about 3 more breaths here. Okay. Now keep your upper body and your right leg fairly still and relaxed, but start to slowly slide that left leg a little bit closer to you, closer to the block. So the left foot comes flat onto the ground, and then you can slowly release the right foot down onto the ground and pause for a few breaths. Both feet flat onto the ground, coming back to a neutral, symmetrical, supported bridge. Take 2 deep breaths. All right, and we're going to switch sides. So slowly start to crawl your right foot away from you, away from the block, allowing that leg to slowly lengthen. And then take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, hug the left leg in. You can wrap your arms around the thigh, the shin, grab onto the knee, whatever works. But now, instead of, like I mentioned in traditional bridge, with both feet on the ground, your belly button wants to get pulled toward your thighs. Now, as you pull your left thigh in, can you get your belly button a little bit more towards your face? Just because you're pulling the leg, not because you're doing anything in your pelvis. I want your torso, your back, your hips, your core all relaxed. The only little bit of effort really is in your arms, if that. So let that left leg just lengthen, and maybe visualize your breath aiding the right hip flexors, allowing them to soften, lengthen, and relax. Let's stay for 3 more breaths. Okay, and then slowly start to crawl that right foot back in towards the block, in towards your body, letting the right foot come flat onto the ground, and then let the left foot come flat onto the ground. Come back to supported bridge, both feet flat. Everything symmetrical and neutral. Take about 3 to 5 deep belly breaths here. And then when you're ready, push your feet firmly down into the ground, lift your hips, slide the block off to the side, and slowly, gradually lower back down. Come all the way down onto the ground and come to constructive resting pose. Knees bent, feet flat, feet at the edges of your mat, and then knock the knees in. Rest for a few breaths. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, hug your knees in towards your chest. You can rock from side to side, or stay still, or maybe you come to happy baby. But be somewhere that's gentle and comfortable for about 3 to 5 more breaths. And then settle into your Shavasana. Maybe you use props. Maybe all you have to do is lengthen your legs. But come into a pose that takes no work, no effort. Somewhere where every part of your body can rest. Where your physical body can rest. Where your breath can relax. And where your mind can relax.
Gently deepen your breath. Deepen your breath and imagine these big, full breaths filling your whole body. Filling and expanding through the entire body. And then they can create movement, so you start to rock your head side to side. Run your thumbs over the rest of your fingers as you wiggle your toes. Roll wrists and ankles. Move arms and legs. You can reach your arms overhead, stretching as if you just woke up from a long nap. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, hug your knees into your chest and slowly roll over onto either side, resting your ear on your arm to support your head and neck. Keeping your eyelids closed or just heavy, and using the strength of both arms, push down into the ground, come up to a comfortable seat. Take a moment here to thank yourself. You made it to your yoga mat today, so take a moment to appreciate yourself for prioritizing yourself and maybe reflect on your intention. Loka samasta sukhi no bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my life contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom for all. Now let's join the hands together in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. To seal our practice, we will chant the sound of Om one time. You're welcome to listen or join me. And again, we'll say the chant or sound the chant of Om one time. Let's start with a deep and clearing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale for Om. The light or the good in me acknowledges, respects, and bows to the light or the good in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for following along, participating, doing what you can, moving your body, and again, for prioritizing yourself and your health, whether you do yoga for your physical health and or your mental health. And if I know my audience, and I think I do, you're doing it for both. Same, me too. You appreciate yourself for doing that every once in a while because you did it. We all have times where we're like, oh, I could do yoga, but I don't think I'm gonna. But you did today, so thank you from me and to you and all of it. And again, let me know what your thoughts are on the microphone. I have all the all the sort of the wiring and everything sort of tucked away, and as we were moving, it was sliding around, so hopefully it didn't rustle the sound. I'll kind of try to edit things and see what I can do on my end, but let me know if you liked it more or less or whatever. I'm trying to figure it out. So again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.